April is National Occupational Therapy Month.
And tonight on Health Before, KTIV's Taylor Decker takes an inside look at what you can expect when you make an appointment to see a therapist.
What do you want to get back to? What are your leisure activities? What are your very specific job tasks that this hand, wrist, elbow needs to get back to?
These are just a few questions that occupational therapist Angie Reinhardt asks her patients.
We're going to take one hand and roll it forward.
Inside this corner at CNOS in Dakota Dunes, you'll find Reinhardt working to help get people back to their day-to-day activities and tasks.
So after an injury, after severe trauma, disease process, any of those things, people can be very limited on being able to just do their normal things like dressing and bathing and doing their work tasks.
Occupational therapy is used for reducing pain and discomfort in the wrist, hand, and elbow area, along with fine motor skills to improve daily routines during the healing process.
Fine motor skills are the things we take for granted every day, like manipulating objects, like buttoning your shirt. We just take that for granted, we do it. But after an injury, that becomes very difficult for a lot of people. You're gonna put your fingers all the way in, grasp, and then you're going to rotate. I want you to come forward for me a little bit.
Reinhardt spends lots of her day practicing relaxation techniques with patients while working in a variety of locations with patients on gentle exercises. CNOS also offers ergonomic evaluations, going to people's offices and workstations to make adjustments during the healing process.
They have less cumulative trauma issues from just sitting in the wrong posture or the wrong positions throughout their day.
The goal is to get people back to normal with care customized to people's everyday lives.
We have several carpal tunnel syndrome patients that come in. We don't treat them the same because everybody's a little different. Even if they have the same diagnosis, we really custom it to what they need.
For Health Before, Taylor Decker, KTIV News 4.
And if you think you need to visit with the occupational therapist like Angie, you can learn more about this department at CNOS on KTIV.com.